Good day. Look who's here bright and early. Hello, Denise. How are you? Okay, I see that there's 4 others watching. They're just not saying good morning. And I'm early. Today is Friday, May 3rd, 2024. Good day, CJ. And thank you for waking up this early, or in excuse me, if you're in England or Ireland, it's in the afternoon, I understand. Good day, Sister Jeannie. Okay, so today is Free for All Friday, as I called it. But it's not really a free for all, as in like the way the Americans understand the term, where it's anything goes. It means that I'm going to have a topic talk, so the first one was suggested by Sister Jeannie, and that will be about the loss of friends as you enter into the dark night, or your own soulful transition or conversion, if you want to call it. Good day, CW, and good day, Maria. I'm going to basically tell you my experiences. And yes, it happens, okay? And there's good reason for it. So let's begin with morning prayers, and then we'll start the talk, and we'll see where it leads us. All right. In nomine Dei, matronam nostri, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the most holy Trinitarian Theophany, and in Catholic contemplation, humbly adore the Divine Family. Most holy and venerable Trinitarian Theophany, one family, divine, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O Trinitarian Theophany, relying on thy infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Trinitarian Theophany, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Trinitarian Theophany for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven. O Trinitarian Theophany, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, O Trinitarian Theophany, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Trinitarian Theophany the graces which are necessary to us. O Trinitarian Theophany, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Dea matronam nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress and my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Dea matronam nostrae, et Dei meum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all, because they offend thee, O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Dea matronam nostrae, et Dei meum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. So, as reading these morning prayers, I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. So, I would like to forgive Eastern Christian 333. Okay, he's what happens is I get feelings, and I think the way there's almost like a pattern that when you first get converted, if you will, or not too far into your discernment of your relationship with the Trinitarian Theophany, or and again, it depends on how it goes for you. But they begin when they find a bit of truth that rings true. Okay, that's the Lord of the Rings. When it rings true, you run with it and you bash people over the head with it, and and you think you know. We think we know. So I think that's where that gentleman is at. Okay, I'm guessing. I don't know him at all, but I'm guessing that, number one, it's a male. Number two, he's on the younger side, or younger to middle age, and he has not had the experiences yet of discernment and practice of the way that the dark night of the soul is, where you are trialed and taken from you. Basically, you're made to suffer. Okay, and you can either choose to curse your suffering or embrace it. If you embrace it and you cry out to the Trinitarian Theophany in humility and weakness, then you will grow. And then you have to have the courage to choose the discerned truth. Okay, you don't just accept what somebody tells you. You discern it, and then you practice it in prayer, and you chew on it, what I say, for a long time. And this process is critical in order to advance towards that transforming union. And one of the signs of this purification, if you will, is the courage to embrace that discerned truth, to state it for yourself, okay? And again, you make it known to your friends and your family. Again, you don't beat it over their heads. You just make it known to them that this is and this is what I did when basically, so I'll tell you the story. Early, I knew I wanted to be married. I came from a very good family. We were Novus Ordo, and there was lots of love, and we did well. There was 3 of us in our family, and I love my parents, and they brought me to church, and we went to church every Sunday. And I got to, I was, because it was Novus Ordo, and I wasn't really brought into the faith in a deep sense, because it really didn't even exist then, except for Novus Ordo. It was beginning to, there's some trads, there's some this and that, but I was a hooligan and in high school and whatnot, and I went to public school and committed grievous sins. And then when I got to the age where I wanted to get married, I decided to do that, to get married and to have children. I knew I wanted a family because I love my family. So early on, again, I was a young man with a wife and a young child, and went to church just like my parents did. But one instance prior to that, let me just jump back. When I was in college, I went to the church there, the Novus Ordo, and I was challenged by the drama teacher there. Go figures, it's a drama teacher. He was bashing Catholicism basically, and I was like, wow, this is weird, because I had never experienced that before. And so again, when I got out of college, just 2 years, I came home, started my family, and then continued to go to church, and was asked to become a catechism teacher. And I did like to help out. I liked to participate in the community of the church. I became a lector, and I, was very popular there, okay? Well liked in the community and whatnot. And so I became a lector, I became a CCD teacher. And it was interesting, as a CCD teacher, we got news about the Pope John Paul II coming to visit the area, and this was in New York. And so I jumped at the opportunity. The church was going to send my wife and I and other catechism teachers to go see the Pope. I went twice, actually, to see John Paul II. So we went, and it was quite the experience. As we're leaving, I was kind of, looking for something to read on the bus ride home. So there were people outside handing out pamphlets. So I said, oh, I'll take one of these pamphlets. And of course, it was a pamphlet from a Protestant who was claiming that the Pope is the Antichrist. I didn't know that until I got in the bus and sat down, and we were reading it on the way home. And I was like, my entire faith was shattered in that moment. Okay? What little I had. So I got home and I said, well, that's interesting. That really just shot me right down. And it's ironic. So I says, but there's 2 sides to every story. Okay, and this is where your discernment begins. Okay, you have to know that there's 2 sides or more to every. So I took the pamphlet, and then I just basically took each point and said, let me go and look up some sources that would counteract or give another side to the story. So I bought, back then, $80 worth of books. That was a lot. And I learned so much from doing that. And that was all the books I ordered from Tan. And some of you will remember that publishing company. They're still around, but they've now been taken over by, anyway. So I became an apologist now for the Catholic faith. And you can see the path as you go, okay? And then as an apologist, I was defending the Catholic faith. And then I kept meeting people who knew a little bit more. And then I learned about Novus Ordo, what happened with Vatican II and whatnot. And as I learned about Vatican II, that was where I was at in my community. That was a big decision right there. I had to say, okay, well, if this is true, then this is what I must do. And on my part, there wasn't much hesitation. We talked to, my wife and I discussed this, quite a bit. And we realized, okay, this is what we have to do. Okay, if we are true to the Trinitarian Theophany. And so we did. I wrote a letter to the priest explaining my position and to my family, and we didn't go back. We went then to a traditional and was, again, okay. So I'm not going to get too long here, but the point here is when we did that, we were immediately attacked. Okay, and this is what's going to happen, and it's part of the process. Friends of many years, okay, called us, calumnies and said we were joining a cult and all sorts of different things, and that we lost the faith and all these sorts of things. You have to have the courage, though, okay, to stick with it. Okay, this is not an emotional thing. This is a reasoned decision. And it's normal for that to happen, okay? Family, we didn't lose too much family in the sense that they didn't, condemn us and kick us out and all that sort of thing, okay? They understood and respected our decisions. I tried to influence them the best I could, okay? And they for some, it's just too difficult emotionally. A lot of people can't do that. And let me also encourage anybody who's in this position that it is difficult, but let me tell you, you receive the graces from the Trinitarian Theophany that you need in order to thrive after that, okay? So have the courage to choose discerned truth. Ask yourself, why are you Catholic? And if you don't know, you had better find out. Okay? And what is it to be Catholic? Okay? Don't presume to know, okay? Like so many people out there, like this gentleman was, posting comments and false statements and things. Find out, and do your again. They always say do your own research, okay? And it's listen to both sides, okay? So the loss of friends is going to happen. However, again, like I said, the graces will come where you will attain new friends, okay? And they will come and go, okay? Because everybody is at a different point, or stage in their quote-unquote conversion or their path. But it's important to stick with the truth, the discerned truth that you've arrived at. And then when a higher truth is brought to your attention, okay, because you have made that first hard or difficult step to go towards it from the beginning, you can do it again. Okay, and when you do it again, you receive more graces and more understanding. Okay, and this is where those that infusion comes in, is that just by you, and again, it isn't something that you're having this discussion with the Trinitarian Theophany, although you should. Your basically discussion is your decision to move closer towards or higher truth. Okay, that's why what is truth? Okay, this discerned truths. Okay, so that's all I'm going to talk about for today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. If you can help with a donation, that would be great too. I know this is really tough times, and the financial system across the entire world is changing. There's huge money shifts and transfers and gold going on. I just read, I think it was the Fed or somebody that says, or what was it? Forbes? I think it was Forbes actually, that said that the Federal Reserve or the world is getting ready to return to a gold standard. Okay, so how do we prepare for that? We learn. We don't get crazy about it, because we'll be taken care of. You're not going to be rich, I can tell you that, in that stand of things, but there are things that you can do that God, the Trinitarian Theophany, will guide you through, and not to have fear. Okay, so I was talking about gold, so let's go talk about donations. So I put a new one up there for the Cash App, in case anybody has that. And if for those who send me something monthly automatically, that's awesome, and I really appreciate that. And if you can't afford it, I understand. Okay, I understand. So I think that's it for today, and I can't respond to comments because I'm too far away from the camera, but maybe if I remember, I'll show you where the ducks are at today. Let me look to see. I'm way overdue. All right, so that's it for Friday's talk, and maybe tomorrow. Well, you know what? I just want to mention this really quick, but there's a lot of new people that are coming on, and this is I don't want you to come here just because I'm saying the Mass in Latin. It's much deeper than that, because the language was chosen in Latin years ago because it was the common language of the people. So for the most part, in the world today, the common language is English. And again, Latin is beautiful and it's nice, but I want you to come here because of the rules, not the rules, the truths that we have found. Okay, this Mass is an extension of OurLadyIsGod.com. Okay, that information that came from there. Okay, again, we are the Catholic Church. Some would say of the end times. I'm not going to argue with that. But here's an example, okay, of one of the things that we understand that we found that will It takes a lot of discernment and deprogramming. Okay, I got this off the website, and thanks to Mr. Nobody, this is the statement here, and I'm not sure if he wrote this or if somebody wrote it in, but it says here, Mary is a 12 to 14-year-old Jew who married Joseph, a 90-year-old man. These are Talmudic practices. Okay, it's not normal for Catholics or society for a 90-year-old man to marry a 12 to 14-year-old girl. Okay, so that's a Talmudic practice, which is satanic. Okay, it's Luciferian. Okay, the Jews are the chosen people of Lucifer. They practice these practices. Okay, in the biblical satanic scriptures, adulthood refers to the age of puberty or even a younger age. Okay, so this is why we don't follow biblical satanic scriptures. So if there's any Protestants watching, you have to put your thinking cap on here, your reasonable cap. It's hard because people accept something as true because it's been said for so long. Doesn't mean it's true. Okay, now here's an interesting paragraph from the newadvent.org regarding the Catholic Encyclopedia, regarding the marriage of Mary to Joseph in the Catholic Encyclopedia. And it says, quote, when 40 years of age, Joseph married a woman called Melka, or Esha, by some, that was her name, Salome by others. So she had different names. Okay, there's something odd right there. They lived 49 years together and had 6 children, 2 daughters and 4 sons, the youngest of whom was James, the less, quote, the Lord's brother. Okay, so again, that's key words here, the Lord's. Okay, and if you do your research on the website, in long time ago, the Catholic Church discussed the Lord and how we're not to use that term because it can mean something else, which it does. The Lord is Satan. Okay, they switch and play words. I'm not going to get into that today, but it continues. A year after his wife's death, as the priest announced through Judea that they wished to find in the tribe of Judah a respectable man to espouse Mary, then 12 to 14 years of age, Joseph, who was at the time 90 years old, went up to Jerusalem among the candidates. A miracle manifested the choice God, or Satan, had made of Joseph, and 2 years later, the Annunciation took place, unquote. Note, the article on Catholic Encyclopedia obtains its information from early Christian writing, including apocryphal writings. The Catholic Encyclopedia goes on to conclude, quote, retained the belief that St. Joseph was an old man at the time of marriage with Mary, unquote. Christians, okay, not Catholics, Christians do not find any difficulty in accepting evil, that's evil, for a 90-year-old man to be with a 12 to 14-year-old girl. According to Catholic Encyclopedia, okay, who was 12 to 14 marrying a 90-year-old man. Okay, so that's one of the things, and even Catholics today accept this. Okay, and it took me a long time. We don't know about these things. But then once reason kicks in, we start to say, okay, what the heck is going on here? You have to step back. Okay, and when you do that stepping back, that's where you lose your friends. Okay, and you gain new ones. All right, let's begin Mass. Apologize for going long today, but it was important. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Oremus. O God, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, Trinitarian Theophany, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, hanc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indinius famulos tuus offeritibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro inobidibus peccatis et offensionibus, et negligentis meis, et promnibus circumstantibus, sed promnibus federibus catalocorum vivis aquae, defunctis ut mihi et illis proficiat ad salutem. Deum qui humanis substantiae dignitatem mirabilite condidisi, mirabilis reformasti da nobis perihus sacramentis Deum, eis divinitatis esse consortes qui militatis nostrae, fieri denotus es padecebs, Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivet et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem saetaris tuum da peccantes clementium, ut conspectu divine majestatis tuae, pro nostra et totius mundi salute, cum adoris suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humiditatis et in animo contrito suscipiam rate Deum Iesum Christum, et sec fiat sacrificium nostrum in conspectu tu hodie, ut placia tibi Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificita blota prosequendo et ecipere hoc sacrificium tuo sancto nomine preparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas sanct oblationum quam tibi afferimus, ab amorem passiones, resurrectiones et ascensiones Deum Iesum Christum, et in honoram Deum matronam nostri, et a Papa Pater Sanctorum, et Istorum et Omnem Sanctorum, ut illis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere in aeterni celis, quorum amorem agimus in telis, per in Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meum ac vestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat ab Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum, sacrificium de manibus tuis, et laudam et gloriam nominis sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram totiusque ecclesiae sui sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te. Sursum corda habemus ad Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te ituto clementes in mater et pater, Deum materam nostre et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, Deum nostre supplices rogamus ad petimus. Uti accepta habeas, et sanctificas, ex sanctam sacrificium idibata. In primis tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare custodiri ad honore et regere dignitis toto obiterarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Katie, Gage, Mark Jr., Casey, Maria Josephina Mose, Henry, Barbara, and Benedict Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, Anne Botink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Maria and the Line River family, John Cahill, the Dasco, Nye, Tafor, Began, and Wolf families, Mindy, We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantis Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse, any kind of ritual abuse or medical abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium exchange, with no usury, and courageous men to step forward and to lead us into a Catholic society. We ask that Deum Matronam Nostra et Deum Iesum Christum Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum destroy the satanic document, the Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud, destroy Rome and the Vatican, and transfer the authority of the Catholic Church to Fatima, Portugal. We ask you to release the souls controlled by the demon Lilith and the demon Asmodeus. We ask you to block the passage of any so-called pandemic treaty by the WHO based on lies and aimed at removing the divine family's children's freedom to move and travel. We ask you to save the souls from under the dominion of any Jew or Freemason that gives support to Israel. All these things we ask in accordance with God's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio, procubus tibi afferimus verucudiva frontox sacrificium, laudis prose suisque omnibus, pro redemptione anomarum suarum prospe salutis et incolamitatis sue, tibique redunt volta sua aeterno Deum vivo et vero, communicantes et momentum venerantes in primis gloriose semper Deum Matram Nostre, et de Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum Papa Sancte Petri, et Sancte Lucia, et Sancte Jacinta, et Sancte Francisco, et Sancte Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis, praecibus quae concedes ut in omnibus, protectionis tuae monum exidio per Deum Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblationem de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus, consecratum acceptabulum, quae fecedi nidis ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fieri victissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pastoretor recepit panem in sancta sagrabilis manus suas, et derivatis obliis in caelum ad Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit, fregit dique luminis sui dicens accipite et mandacate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meo. Simini modo postquam ceremonias accipiens et hunc precladam calicem in sancta sacramentis manus suas identifi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecravit dique luminis sui dicens accipite et bibite exe omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, et quod est cum fecetis in meo facetis. Unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sed plebs tua sancta iustum Christum filium tuum Deum nostre, tambe et passionis nec non et in finis resurrectionis, sed et in celos gloriosi ascensionis afferimus preclare maestati tui tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio oxare novoduris speciedi digneris. Sublites teragamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ibi hec preferite manus tuum, ut quod, ex hoc autalis participationis sacra sanctam Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem subsenimus, omni sanctificatione celesti et gratia Dei per amor per Deum Christum Deum nostre. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Lloyd Cogan, my grandfather. Ipsistem et omnibus in Christum crescentibum, locum refugere lucis et pacis, ut ondo gesta proclamor per innum Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bono creas, sanctificas, vivificas, consecratis et prestas nobis. Per ipsum, et cum ipso, et in ipso, est tibi Deum maternum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, maternam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea maternam nostrae, materam Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis, peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quae sumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, presentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Dea maternam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitius pacem in diebus nostris. Ut obi misericordiae tue eduite te peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omne perturbatione securi. Per eundum Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum, Filium tuum, Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum, Iesum Christum, sed semper vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Ecce ex Deo consecratio copris et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat excipientibus nobis in et salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum maternam nostrae, quaprante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuum unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis. Et universis malis et fac me tui semper in handare mandatis, et unumquam separati permittas. Qui cum eodem Deum maternam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis serenam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sumere presum non mihi proveniat in editium condemnationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi a tutum elementis corporis, et adem edem principiandum qui vivis serenas, cum Deum maternam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. In panem celestem accipiam, et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum maternam nostrae non sunt dignius, ut interceptate meis in tanto verbis apparanum meam. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignius, ut interceptate meis in tanto verbis apparanum meam. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignius, ut interceptate meis in tanto verbis apparanum meam. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Quid retribuam Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus, quae retribuit mihi, calicem salutaris accipiam et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum maternam nostrae et ab inimicis meis avocero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Coloris sumpsimus. Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiamus et immunum et tempore fiat nobis remedium sempiternam. Christum Deum Iesum Christum, quod sumpsi et sanguis quem potae here vicerbus meis apresta, ut in me non remenia cela la macula quem pura et sancta reficiona sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O Trinitarian Theophany, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, ite mises, Deum gratia. Gratia tibi, Sancta Trinitam, obsequium servitudis me, e presta ut sacrificium coroculis tue majestatis in unus autoritivis et acceptabile mihique et omnibus, pro quibus idut autolis sit miserante propitiabile per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum. Deum Matronam Nostra et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. O Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of Deum Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. Please share your story of friend loss or conversion or your adventures into becoming Catholic in the comments section or with me, however you wish. Again, tomorrow is first Saturday devotion, and so if you want to send me or get in contact me with for confession, you can do that. We've had 2 so far. So please go and sanctify all those who you meet. And I just want to make sure I have a prayer intention here. Pray for more for peace of mind. Pray for his short temper. Yes, let's do that. And Lydia, if you would, Usually if there is anger issues, I'm telling you from firsthand experience, okay, I had them. They are related to parasites. It's like a bipolar thing. They labeled it bipolar, but it's a lot to do with parasites. Okay, parasites, and I know all of you can leave because you've heard me tell the story, but they create such a upset within the inside the body that your patience is eaten away by these things and you have no patience. Okay, that's why they're diabolical. That's why they shouldn't be in any country or host. Okay, so yes, we'll pray for them that the wisdom comes to that. And contact me. Go to, if you want, I can help you with that. Contact me at what's my email? Leilani@jimsanta.com. If you go to ourladyisgod.com, over on the Mass page, you can see my email there. All right, so get in touch with me if you need help with that. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. Please go and sanctify all those who you meet. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.